Okay, so welcome to this another special edition of ABNcast, which we're recording here at Farnborough Airshow this year. We've come to the stand of a first-time exhibitor at the show, and one of the younger companies probably at the show as well, JEH Aerospace. I'm joined by, I'm going to read your...
Robb Hudson.
Robb Hudson.
Yeah,
of course. Robert Hudson, who's the Chief Growth Officer at JEH. Robert, thanks for inviting us on to your stand to have a quick chat. Before we started, you were telling me the story of the company about, it's only 3 years old, 2.5 years ago since you delivered your first components into the industry. That seems like a very short time to be established and now exhibiting at Farnborough. Just very quickly, tell us a story about JEH Aerospace. Where did it come from, and why was it founded?
came from essentially spawned out of an idea by our two founders, Vishal Sanghavi and Venkatesh Mudragala. Both were ex-Tata executives at Tata Advanced Systems, leading very important joint venture programs that Tata had formed together with Boeing, Lockheed, Sikorsky. And they really kind of helped birth the aerospace industry in India. And they saw through the course of their career at Tata a really dire need to support the tier supply chain, meaning tier 1, tier 2 suppliers in aerospace. And so they left their very comfortable positions at Tata with just an idea and formed JEH Aerospace a little over 3 years ago.
Yeah. So they saw the market as it was. It still is actually with huge demand and not enough supply.
Correct.
And said, look, there's an opportunity here for us to get into this at speed as well. It's happening very quickly.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been able to go from, really from startup with no business to now having, in a little over 600 days, we've delivered just over 300,000 finished components to our customers, 100% in the aerospace industry, focused on even, not the simple materials either. Inconel, titanium, high temp stainless, and again, primarily for aero engine programs, but now just launched into landing gear, and we're branching out from there.
Yeah. So just give us, you said you're tier 1 and tier 2 focused on customers. What does your average customer look like? What kind of companies are you supplying?
It's primarily, again, tier 1, tier 2, traditionally multi-site companies, revenues anywhere from, we'll say, 100 to close to $1 billion. And they all have programs that have pressure, either delivery pressure, price pressure, or both. And we're offering a capacity, a very high-tech capability and capacity that can, I think, alleviate and kind of open up the pressure valve on both price pressure and the demand pressure that they're seeing from their customers, who are the OEMs. And so we're offering capacity and capability to address those needs.
You feel like maybe breaking into an industry like aviation is quite difficult, lots of barriers to entry, but actually this story suggests not, that you can, with the right proposition, you can scale quickly.
Well, and our founders had a very strong experience in aerospace in India, and as such, then we've been able to recruit a very strong team to back them up in India. I think arguably we have the best execution team in India for aerospace. We've been able to recruit kind of the best of the best, and now we're beginning to do the same in kind of in support roles in North America as well.
So although the company is headquartered in the US, your big operational base is in Hyderabad.
Correct.
In India. Just tell us a bit about what that operation looks like.
So we started with 60,000 square feet, just an empty shell, and now gradually over the last 2 years filled that building to capacity. And last month we just took delivery of a purpose-built additional facility about 800 meters away from our first facility. We call facility number 1 Mach 1. Facility 2 is Mach 2. And that facility, Mach 2, is 200,000 square feet or 20,000 square meters of right now blank canvas. We just took delivery of the building. So we're in the process of upfitting it with electrical, air, water, and we have the first 12 machines on order.
Okay.
And then in that facility also, we will be adding special processes like heat treat, braise, passivation, anodize.
So that will allow you to not just increase volume, but increase the scale of what you do and the breadth of what you do as well.
Correct. Then we kind of control this our own internal supply chain, which is a benefit to our customer because then we can be in much better control of our deliveries to our customers, whether it's in Europe or in North America.
Yeah. So when does that facility start going on stream?
The first machines are going to arrive. They're on order now. The first machines will arrive in the next 6 to 8 weeks. And then the non-process area, those machines will show up Q4 of this year.
Yeah.
With the goal of every single one of those processes will be NAD capped by the end of Q1 next year.
Right. So what does that growth give you then? Are you more than doubling in size?
Yeah, it seems like, last 2 years, we've grown, essentially tripled our turnover every year. Right now, we're growing 15, 20% month on month.
Yeah.
I've been with the company now just over 4 months. When I hired in, we were 160 people.
Yeah.
Today, we're sitting at 255, and by the end of our financial year, we'll be at 400.
Wow.
Yeah.
There must be challenges to growing so quickly. I mean, it's a good thing on the face of it, but
and
any company that grows quickly has to.
Yeah, I think, again, we have a really, really strong management team.
Yeah.
And with that, we've set up some in-house capability on training that is not very common in our space. Particularly in India, but we have developed our own in-house curriculum that we have a lot of raw talent in India.
Yeah.
India's graduating 1 million engineers a year.
Okay.
But they don't have...
They're generic, are they? They're not aviation engineers.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so regardless of the job function,
yeah,
every new hire comes in and goes through our Center for Aerospace Skills Academy, which is a very defined written curriculum across about a dozen different subjects. Everything from if you're operator on the shop floor or hiring into quality, the basics on how to read using hand metrology tools, all the way up through cutting tool selection and CNC programming.
Okay. We know there's a global issue on skills and talent. Clearly in India, there's not the problem in terms of volume. You can get a lot of engineers from education and coming through the system. But I can see you've got a poster behind the camera saying, it's a picture of your facility, says make manufacturing cool again.
Yes.
Which gives me the impression that manufacturing is not just undergoing having to undergo a change in perception in this part of the world, in the UK, in Europe, in developed countries. It's similar in a country like India. Why is that? What's going on with manufacturing and this kind of work as a profession? Why is it being seen to be not cool?
Yeah, I think one is globally. I grew up in the U.S. and in the U.S. manufacturing, kind of the Rust Belt, and manufacturing across the globe 20, 30 years ago was in many cases dirty work, sometimes dangerous work.
Yeah.
And so the generations previous to the current generation, parents and grandparents of the current generation, I don't think have encouraged their children to go into manufacturing.
No. Right.
Because of that reputation.
Yeah.
And I think it's incumbent upon all of us, whether it's in aerospace or automotive or medical or electronics, we need to re-educate the current generation on manufacturing is cool again. And we have to be able to demonstrate that, and we are demonstrating that in our facility in Hyderabad.
What is making it cool again? I'm sure you're going to talk about the technology that's involved and how the workplace itself is completely different to what you were describing before in the Rust Belt. It's no longer literally a dirty place.
Correct.
To work. So is that key? That are the people you bring into your company, would they come if it wasn't technology driven? Wasn't I don't think they would. We're providing our
our people and our customers to have access and work with state-of-the-art tools, both hardware and software. I mean, brand new state-of-the-art machine tools, other forming and fabricating tools, softwares that they're not hampered. I mean, and if we see a need, or our people see a need that we don't have, a skill set that we don't have, a set of tools that we don't have, and we can demonstrate that that's going to benefit not only the company but our customer, then we're quick to go acquire that capability.
I guess what's happening in any modern manufacturing setting now is that you're moving from being someone who does things themselves with their hands to operating a machine. So you become more a technology operator, an operative in some ways, aren't you? The machines are doing the hard work while you are becoming much more IT and tech savvy as a worker. So that sets you up for the future, because you're using the modern machinery that you'll use anywhere.
And we're not only using the modern machinery, but we're using modern digital tools to track progress of those machines and of our processes. So from day one, Jay has been a end-to-end digital company. You'll go out on our shop and you see 0 papers. Everything is digital work instructions. We're pulling up the part. We transmit everything digitally from server to workstation to work center. And we even give our customers visibility into that digital environment by setting up their own unique customer dashboards that they can go in at any time and see exactly where their parts are in process, what's in WIP, what's in finished goods, what's in quality, and then understand completely what their current manufacturing processes look like from 5 to 10,000 miles away. And that data they see is live. It's not a week old or 2 weeks old. And then that gives them the ability to go in and make adjustments to priority or capacity planning for their specific work.
So that commitment to transparency is something customers value and they look for in a trusted supplier. I guess that's part of the story is why you've established yourself so quickly.
I truly believe the digital pedestal that we've created is one of our more compelling reasons why customers are gravitating towards Jay, because I've not seen a dashboard like this offered, or the level of transparency offered by a supplier to a customer like this previous.
So what does the future roadmap for Jay look like? You like you said, you're currently doing a lot of engine parts, moving into other parts of the aircraft. Do you have plans to expand that, or new types of materials? What is on your plan for the next 5 years?
I mean, continue to kind of do what we're doing. We want to be very responsive to the customer and the customer's needs. We want to be very easy to work with. We don't want to be overly complicate the relationship, but we're looking right now specifically. We've got 200,000 square feet of manufacturing space to fill up. So, I mean, that's a big challenge. But
do you
with that,
do you expect that to get to 100% capacity quickly, given the amount of demand out there?
Right now, we're expecting 30 to 36 months that facility will be full. And then
does that require then to look for more space? And do you look for manufacturing capabilities outside of India, or will you?
We will. I mean, we'll probably within the next 12 months is figuring out how do we do something strategically together with our customers in the U.S., maybe addressing a little bit different need, more on the defense side potentially. We're looking at a couple of opportunities would be centered around additive manufacturing. Which would be kind of, again, a different skill set. But right now we're focused on growing our capacity, both in volume of parts, but then also in the size of parts. Currently we're 1 meter and under. The next round of machines that we've acquired will take us up to 1.5 meter. And we've had conversations here at the show already here in the first 2 days, of expanding that probably up to 3 meters fairly soon.
Okay. So
And once you start getting 3-meter capacity, volume size parts, obviously those machines are much larger and they occupy more floor space. So that fills up our available floor space at a little bit faster rate.
Yeah. And it takes you into all parts of an aircraft you can be supplying.
Yeah. Structures,
airframe,
larger landing gear components, larger engine components. So cases, frames, things like that.
What's your assessment of where the industry is at in terms of its supply chain issues and availability of parts? What's your assessment of the market at the minute, and whether that's ever going to change, or is this the new normal? And people like you and Jay represent the new normal.
I think in a bit, the industry needs more capacity like we're offering. One that's rapid, it's resilient, and it's reliable.
Yeah.
I think that's far overdue in the aerospace and defense sector. There's simply more demand than there is supply.
Yeah.
And so our goal is we want to offer a unique supply strategy and model to meet some of those demand signals that are coming from the OEM through the tier 1, tier 2 supply chain.
Is the fact that this is an Indian or a company that's got its manufacturing in India, is that indicative of where the industry is going? Do you expect to see more of that activity taking place in markets like India and others where there is good access to people?
Yeah, I think it's people have the misconception of, well, we're going to India or some other place in Asia to access a best cost scenario.
Yeah.
I don't look at it that way, as they're seeking capacity. And I think that the OEMs and the large tier 1s are having to scour the globe to find capacity. And it's not about, we're offering our customer great value, but we're also offering them state-of-the-art processes with very granular visibility into those processes.
Yeah. What difference do you see technology in general making? You're using technology yourself, as you explained, to be transparent.
Correct.
To show people what's going on, to give them some sense of predictability, I guess, for the future. The airlines are also trying to use technologies. How does that change, you think, the relationship they have with that supply chain?
I think it's going back from, not only the airlines, but back into, obviously the OEMs, but the entire industry has pent up demand.
Yeah.
That, and we're now seeing a resurgence in energy needs around the world. And so you've got the energy sector that's chasing after some of that capacity now in the form of power generation requirements to stand up data centers and just global growth and grid growth. So between aerospace, commercial and defense aerospace, straight defense applications, and now energy applications, there simply isn't enough capacity right now to not only in machining capacity, but raw material capacity.
Yeah.
And it's how do we go and address, that's the next sector. How do we go and address the raw material constraints? Because if we can't get the raw material, we certainly can't machine the parts.
Is aviation in a position to compete in that market then? Because you've got some big sectors competing against the aviation industry for that capacity.
Yeah, and it's driving the cost of raw materials up as a result. And because you're talking about applications across those range of industries that require kind of the same sets of materials and the same performance out of those materials. And so it's now, how do we get creative to go address some of the raw material constraints so that we could continue to have finished goods flow through the supply chain and into the OEM's hands.
Yeah. Just final question before we finish. You said you'd already had some good conversations. It's end of day 2, so it's been 48 hours of meeting potential clients here this week. What's been the general feeling? What's have those conversations sounded like with potential customers?
So we've had a good mix of meetings with existing customers and potential new customers. It's how fast the speed, how fast can we go? How fast can we spool up new work?
Yeah.
Existing customers, how can we grow our footprint within your organization? So how can we get more of Jay's capacity? And we're up for the challenge. I think we're looking at how we can go address those needs. I think, again, we're looking at next phases we see really important to, even in India, where we do have a lot of access to people. We're still looking at, next sets of machines, we're looking at how we can automate.
Yeah. More robotics.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
you mentioned additive as well. So
additive as well.
Innovative methods of manufacturing.
Correct.
Yeah.
So how do we become more innovative? How do we sweat the existing assets and our future assets more to be able to get more throughput and more production out of that equipment?
Yeah. Look, Rob, thanks very much.
Appreciate the time.
For inviting us on to
Thank
stand
you.
and talking to us. It's a great story, and it shows actually that where there's a demand, there's also potentially a supply, and if you're ready to meet that demand, you can do well in this industry. And we wish you all the best for the future.
Thanks. We'll look forward to checking in with you next year and see where we've how far we've gone in that period of time.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Cheers.